Hello, everyone. Welcome to this session of the Online Facilitation Unconference. My name is Lucas Chaffee from QiqoChat. I'm based in New York. This session, we're going to do a gallery tour of great events that people have done on QiqoChat. So let's quickly go around the room. Please share with us your name, where you are, and your organization if you'd like to. We'll keep introductions fairly brief, and we'll make this a highly engaging conversational session, so we want to leave plenty of time for that. Okay, I'll leave the floor open, and anyone who'd like may introduce themselves.
I can go.
Hi, I'm Andrea. All right, you start.
No, go ahead, Andrea, go ahead.
I'm Andrea, I'm from London, and I have got my own business, and it's called Change That Matters.
Okay, my name is Tim Bonneman. I'm based in San Jose, California. I co-organize the Online Facilitation Conference. Very happy to be here. And in my day job, I do community and participatory stuff.
Hello there, my name is Rolf. I'm here from Germany, close to Cologne, 30 kilometers from Cologne, and I'm a facilitator, and I try to help groups to think smart together. That's my contribution. Thank you.
Hi there, I'm Carrie-Anne Cochran. I'm calling from Canada, Montreal, Quebec. I work as a facilitator quite a bit in intercultural effectiveness and cultural adaptation, and also as an appreciative inquiry facilitator.
Hello, I'm Michael Randall in the suburbs of Washington, D.C. Work as a facilitator and supporting organizations and groups going through change.
I'll go. Hi, my name is Dawn Ryan. Hi, Michael. I live probably a mile or two from Michael. And I have a facilitation practice called Synergy Forces in Maryland in the United States, just outside of Washington, D.C. I focus a lot on strategic planning and problem solving and partnering.
My name is Marty. I'm in Tucson, Arizona, and I've been facilitating workshops for about 30 years in the real world, and have been doing nonprofit tech and sort of movement-oriented technology for the last 10 years or so. And especially since lockdown, have been doing a lot of Zoom facilitation and helping other folks virtualize things.
Hi there, everyone. I'm Jen McSween. I work for an organization called The Outside. I specialize in systems change management with equity at the center. Since COVID-19, we've certainly moved into that virtual space. So always looking at different opportunities and ways in which to humanize that digital environment.
Hi, I guess I'll go next. So pay no attention to the Fern Levine in another without a video screen, because that was my desktop, which doesn't have a camera on it. And now I'm on my laptop, which has my camera, and here we go. I still had to sign in as a guest, and I don't understand why, but that's all part of this learning about technology stuff. So I'm a recently retired public servant. I'm in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, and I worked at Health Canada. And my last role is my pre-retirement assignment was the manager of our Center of Excellence for Facilitation. I was managing our in-house facilitation team, and as well an informal network that was running across Health Canada and the Public Health Agency of Canada. And I've been facilitating since the mid-90s. And now hoping to turn that into a post-retirement career. Doing lots of, I did lots of strategic planning, public consultations, team building, all staff meetings, that kind of stuff.
Thank you, Fern. Anyone else like to introduce themselves? On mute at the moment. you were speaking?
Sorry. Hi, I'm Dragana from Slovenia, Ljubljana. I'm also facilitator, trainer and coach, mostly in organizations, helping teams to cooperate better.
My name is Jobien Hekking. I am working from The Hague. I do a lot in international development, but also the healthcare system in the Netherlands as a facilitator.
Thank you everyone for your time and for being here. As I promised, will be interactive. Please feel free to stop me at any point. Once again, my name's Lucas, and just going to show you some events that fantastic people, just like the ones on this call, have created with this tool. This tool of Kiko is meant to be very process agnostic. You get to choose what processes you want, and you get to choose what design you want. It's a fairly basic, simple, simplistic looking design, and you can dress it up to be more engaging, more colorful, or less colorful to fit the needs of your participants. So there are a few parts of this page. Everybody has arrived in the main room. They saw a photo for the main room. You could change that photo. And on the right-hand side, the notes. Anybody can type in these notes, but first I just put, welcome, please click the green button to launch Zoom so that people know that when you arrive, you're looking at a web page. When you want to get into the Zoom part, click that green button up there. This is the basic structure: photo, notes, and breakout rooms over here. When you click on room 1, you see a different photo, a different notes tool, and a different Zoom meeting. You can have up to 100 Zoom meetings going on at the same time. You get to decide how many of these Kiko breakout spaces you want to show. Once again, each breakout space is connected to a Zoom meeting, and you could change that and make it Microsoft Teams or Adobe Connect. We're just the connecting tool. You get to decide what tools you want connected. We provide a Zoom meeting by default for every room. You don't have to have 100 Zoom meetings. You don't even have to have any Zoom meetings. We pay Zoom 30 cents per hour per person. We charge you 60 cents per hour per person, plus $1 per day. So as you see, it's plain looking, and then you get to decide what you want it to look like. One of the first events was from this group called Democracy Lab. This was the second event they did on Kiko, and we knew that we really had to put a lot more energy into this tool when in Washington State, when the outbreak started in the United States. They reached out to us because we had known them for several years. They came to a civic tech unconference that we held last year, and they said, we have to move our conference online. And so this was the first one from Democracy Lab. They did it back in April, and this is, again, their second event. So this is a hackathon. In a hackathon, you've got a bunch of software projects. Each of those projects is in one different breakout room. And Democracy Lab is a great organization if you ever want to do a hackathon. And it doesn't have to just be a hackathon about software. It could be a hackathon about any project where you want volunteers to donate their time and energy. So if you could think of mobilizing a network of volunteers, but you don't know what would you do with them, Democracy Lab's a great organization that can help you think that through. So you arrive at the general session, and they have a Google Doc on the right-hand side. So it's not the notes tool that we saw. It's a Google Doc, and there's many tools that you can put in. You're going to start to see some of those here. Then after they do the welcome, they get all their people here, they say, now it's time to go to your breakout sessions and head into one of these projects. And so you can go into one of them, say, turn the bus. And when you get into that project page, then you see the project page for Turn the Bus and all the details about this project. That's what Democracy Lab specializes in, helping you run a software project over many months with different volunteers coming in. They do these hackathons every 2 months. Now we've done 3 of them, and we keep iterating and learning as we go. They've also have some great write-ups if you're interested in hackathons. And part of the power of Kiko is that people are free to move themselves from room to room. Right now, all of us in the gallery tour, we're all up in the main room. And I'd clicked into room 1 to see what's in room 1. I can click back to the main room, and then I'll see what's in the main room. But you could do that too. There's nothing in these other rooms, but you can go take a look at them if you want. The same as the people in this hackathon can go jump between projects to find out where they want to go donate their time and energy today. the next big event we did was an open space event with the Internet Identity Workshop. This is Internet Identity Workshop number 30, a very interesting group that meets every 6 months to do an open space event. They've done it for 15 years in person. Open space event is where you come with the compelling invitation, say, our community wants to talk about these general issues, and then people bring their own session topics. So in many ways, you can organize an open space conference or unconference faster than you can by having everybody sign up to say which presentations they want to produce and share. In an open space unconference, it's a good mix with QiqoChat because everybody posts their sessions and then people go to the sessions they want to attend. If there isn't a good session, then people don't go to it. People go to the ones that they're more interested in. So you do less work as conference organizer in trying to decide what programming you want to put in there. Let's go take a look at this open space event. Click participate now. And here's where they had met in person. They wanted to use that same metaphor. So they put that in-person metaphor up there at the top left so people can know this is the Computer History Museum in Palo Alto. They are familiar with this space. It's a community. As I mentioned, for 15 years, they've been meeting every 6 months. And something like 350 participants in this event. So they have their Google Doc. What's interesting why I'm showing this one in the gallery is because here in open space, you can have everyone write the topics that they want to discuss. So here at 9 a.m., they have session 18. They're on day 3. We're looking at day 3. So session 18, session 19 is at 11 a.m., session 20 is at noon or after. And people just type their topic in right here into this Google Sheet. And then if you want, you're able to copy it and paste it right into Kiko. And it will populate all of the rooms here. So this, again, is when you don't want to choose the sessions. You want participants to be able to choose what they want to talk about the day of. You start with a completely blank agenda wall and people populate it. There's a very vibrant open space community. QiqoChat was primarily built for open space from the very beginning, 5 years when we started connecting it to Zoom. And then we've evolved to handle other event types, but open space is our favorite because it has about the right amount of structure and it's 100% interaction. When you get over a large number of people, over 100 people in a Google Sheet, you're going to need a second sheet that is a view-only copy. So this is why it's in the gallery. An interesting way to connect one sheet to another. When people need to make a change, they go to the editable version. And so you can have all these different tabs across the top. Here's a PDF or another Google Doc, which explains the process that they were using that day. And they've got a documentation center where someone was staged, receiving all the notes. This is what it looks like in person. So people, again, get that metaphor. And here they were collecting all the different notes from participants. And you can see that loading. All right, so the Internet Identity Workshop number 30, well, you can guess there's going to be number 31, and the pandemic's gone on long enough. So number 31 is happening this week, tomorrow. And here, same facilitator, Heidi Nubantu Saul, really took her planning to the next level. And we've worked with her and she's helped with different events here on Kiko over the past few months. So now she designed it, you'll see a little bit more polish. So now they've got these images that look even better and they put these different styles to it. And they've thought about, let's see, about open space. And now they've got a snazzier document here to show how to use open space. And then they also, here's the documentation center again. If we look, there's a tool for chat. Then they've put in these different, so here's all your breakout rooms, and then here, coffee cart. So when you're in person, people are congregating around the coffee cart. They wanted to replicate that. So they created a coffee cart space with a big photo, and then you join video. So it's as if you're waiting for a coffee in the Computer History Museum. Just, you don't want to go to a session necessarily, you just want to kind of hang out. And you don't know who you're going to see there. That's the feel, it's the surprise. Be prepared to be surprised. That's what Heidi says, and many open space facilitators say. Another event here was with the vice president, executive vice president of the European Commission, and he wanted to reach out to all these youth to talk about their Green Deal. So we got to work with the European Commission on this event, and these students and young adults were coming from across Europe, so we thought of the metaphor of the different spaces we wanted would be looking at each of the different rooms had a different photo of the city that we were going into. So here's Belgrade, and here's the notes template. This is pretty minimalist. It's the facilitators put a blank notes document in each room, and the students decided what topics are going to be discussed there. Very similar to what we saw in the previous open space. Here's the topic board here. So they just posted their topic, and you just copy and pasted them, and they show up right here. The next one was in Germany, and this one was with Rolf, who is on the line here. So this is the high quality video that they created from this. They did 2 events here, Festival der Totten, which is similar to a hackathon, but instead of hacking on software, you're creating some YouTube videos together. So it's 17ziele.de, a great video there if you're interested in seeing more about it. It's just when you work with, you just get the flavor of what they were doing here. I don't think you'll be able to hear, but you could see the production that went into this video. It's an organization that has been around for a while, well-funded and great momentum. So they have all the resources to really put a lot of muscle into it. This is Ralph's event right here. And when you click join video or you click participate now, then here's their logo on the left. And they put these images here on the right. So you could see, you could really make it beautiful when you put a lot of color into it. And that's why we keep our parts very plain. Another one that was quite colorful, Landscape Architecture Foundation's 35th annual benefit. So around this event, they were able to raise $200,000. This is their big fundraiser of the year. We were the social hall where they had many different places where people could go and interact. And they wanted, it just happened last week, and most of the funding comes from their big sponsors. But in order to earn the sponsors' trust, they got to demonstrate that they're doing a great job. So they created a very unique social experience when you enter this event. So they made it beautiful with their own designers that are on staff. And in each room, people could, it's like you're visiting people in their homes. And you can only do it in 2020 because eventually people aren't going to be doing conferences from their homes. If we go back to the office, they'll be doing conferences from their office if it's going to be online, or they'll be traveling to those conferences in person. So they used 2020 as an opportunity to meet luminaries in the field of landscape architecture. And these luminaries took a room, and it was very well planned out. And you just got a chance to be with them in their homes and do some fun activities. So mixing drinks, karaoke, improv games, plant show and tell. If you're a landscape architect, plant show and tell is quite exciting. And there was virtual reality, spoken word poetry, single malt scotch, digital campfire. Let's see, click on the digital campfire. I think there's a photo here of the campfire. There was a live band, share your pets. So you could see that you can have it be very fun when you design it, and you give people the ability to move around from space to space, and very social experience. This next one was with Unicef. And so this I'm showing because it had 1,182 participants. And this was an alliance of people from all different organizations across the world. So it's really fun to see on this map who is participating. Wait for that to load since there's a lot of people. And this is what 2020 is like. It's people coming together from all around the world to talk about things that they share a concern on. And things like this, I'm not talking about QiqoChat in general, but just online conferencing and everything that the people on this call are bringing people together for. There's a tremendous opportunity here to do things that we couldn't do before. So I'll open up this event. You could see they had a background image there. They had a PDF. So you just get a flavor of different colors that people have here. And this one was fun because it had spatial chat in it. So spatial chat is a great tool where you don't use Zoom. So we hid the Zoom meeting up here. I'll click continue and then join the space. And so I'm going to join here with video through the browser, and gave them a chance to get away in their mind. And when you move yourself in your mind, maybe you think differently, maybe you speak differently. So here, if I wanted to join people in conversation on spatial chat, I move over in this corner and I can speak with anyone that is also in this corner. And if I go in the center, I can speak with people that are here, and I cannot hear the people that were there anymore. So spatial chat's a tool that you can integrate into QiqoChat. Costs $25, that's it, with your event. We pay $50 a month, and we just lend these out 25, 25, 25 to different groups that want to use it. You can have multiple spatial chats connected here. They also had a graphic facilitator, so we'll take a look at the gallery of drawings. So someone was in the Zoom meeting listening and writing and taking notes of all that they were hearing from this annual meeting, and then you can share this back into the event. Next one up is a career fair. A few hundred participants, some great companies here. So they're welcome. You give them a Google Doc in the front page. Then if you want to go speak with NASDAQ, you join a Zoom meeting for NASDAQ. HSBC has its own room. Comcast has their own room. Morgan Stanley has their own room. When you get into that main room, the way that we designed it here, this is the second job fair we did with the same group. We had one breakout room per recruiter. So you come into NASDAQ, and if you'd like to speak with a recruiter one-on-one, NASDAQ has a concierge that moves you into a breakout room, one-to-one, one-to-one. And you get 8 minutes with a recruiter there. Other content, as you're waiting to get in there and you're answering general questions, then here you can watch YouTube or social media posts about the company so you're better informed when you're speaking with that recruiter. Here's Code for America. I like this one because they did even more with the custom styling, and it's subtle and artistic. They have great talent in that organization that has visual appeal. So here, it's very subtle. The buttons don't pop as loud, but you can get around very easily. I like what we're going to learn from what they did to improve the overall look and feel of Kiko. So that's our approach. Is we open it up, we see what people can do, and then we make it easier to do the things that work well. It's an evolution as we go. They also had the networking room here, just like you saw with spatial chat. And another unconference that was quite fun was Cut Fill. So this was landscape architects in the United States, and this was a topic about social justice and the pandemic and the confluence. This was back in July, and it was very poignant. People that hadn't participated on Kiko before hadn't participated in open space either in person or online, and then they got a chance to choose some very difficult conversations and have it. The neat thing is when you're connecting people based on interest, they don't feel like they can normally talk about these things with the people that they work with, because not a lot of people feel exactly what they're feeling. So when you call people to an invitation, the way open space works, the quote, the right people are the ones that come. It's the ones that are compelled by that invitation. So you're connecting all the people that are distributed across all these different landscape architect firms that feel a certain way, that now they can speak with each other and get in deeper conversations that they weren't otherwise able to do. Other tools that we embedded in this event, here's the map of participants, and we even had, again, you'll notice a familiar concept there where people are posting topics, engagement guidelines or other things you can put in. And let's say DJs here. During networking, we had live DJs. So you're on Zoom and you're chatting with people, some people even dancing, and the live DJs are there. You can be listening to them if you want or not. So that's a good overview of all different sorts of events people are hosting on QiqoChat. And I'll pause here for any questions. Our session wraps up here, but we're just going to keep the space open, answer any questions that people have. So the floor is open if you have a question. Oh, and I see there's actually some chat messages. Let me quickly go see if there's any that were questions. We'll give those people priority. What other
Somebody asked a
web
question about if there's a cap on the attendees.
By default, each of the Zoom meetings can accommodate 300 people. A Zoom Pro account can have 100 people. If you want 500 people or 1,000 people, we can get you a Zoom Pro account, and then we get the large meeting add-ons for those. The largest number of people that have been in a QiqoChat event have been about 1,200. I think right now we can safely handle about 2,000, although we're learning as we go. So most of our events are 500 people or less. And the other question, thank you, Tim mentioned the answer to the other question about what web conferencing tools you can connect with inside of Zoom. The short answer is any that have a link, and which would be all of them, we believe. So Adobe Connect, Microsoft Teams, Google Meet, Jitsi, GoToMeeting, and BigMarker, Skype for Business. Thanks for everybody for attending. I know you have to run to other sessions, but I'm going to stay here to listen to any additional questions. And thank you very much for your time. I'm at lucas@QiqoChat.com. I'll put my contact information in the chat if you have any questions.
So I have a question. Oh, I'm curious, can you like hide some of the like agenda tabs and then decide to release them later on in your process?
Yes, you can. So I'll show you a back-end way that we organize tools. So let's see if I've got the link tracker here for Cut Fill. We had 200 Google Docs to support this event, all these different sessions that people were getting into. So the short answer, Dawn, is that you can create spaces and then show and hide them very quickly. If you want to, so you would put one space that has all the tabs you want and then another space that has fewer tabs, or you can paste in all of the links into one field. So it's a very quick copy paste from Google Sheets. Let's see, a link tracker. So for that LAF event, this is how we were tracking the links. I'll zoom out so you can see it a little bit better. So you write the tab name and then the link for that tab, the next tab name and the link for that tab. And so these are all the tabs across all of the rooms. So here are the rooms going down. That's room 2 all the way across. And so you copy and paste just this area right into QiqoChat. Rolf, good to see you and all the kind words. Jen, you're welcome. Tim, thank you for organizing the online facilitation unconference. I'm gonna stay here and keep answering all the questions. I know people are running since the session is over, but okay, yeah, more questions, Dawn and others?
Yeah, I'm gonna run. Thank you, Lucas.
You're very welcome. Bye-bye. Nice to meet everybody.